This is my impression of the remarkable movie Greater. In the movie, Brandon Burlsworth and his mother, Barbara, develop a simple, wordless way of saying, I love you, using car brake lights. When one of them was driving away, the person leaving would tap the brakes 3 times. The one staying behind would respond with 3 taps back. Those 3 flashes stood in for the words, I love you. What makes it so powerful is how ordinary it is. No speeches, no drama, just a quiet ritual between a mother and son who were deeply connected, but not flashy with emotion. It fit Brandon perfectly, humble, consistent, sincere, and it fit Barbara too, steady, attentive, always present. Later in the film, after Brandon's death, that brake light signal becomes a tender echo of love and loss, reminding viewers that the strongest bonds are often expressed in the simplest ways. It's one of those moments that sneaks up on you, no soundtrack swell, just a flicker of red lights and a lump in your throat. We trust. Here's why that moment matters so much. The camera lingers as Marty slowly recognizes the words. We trust echoes the Burlsworth family's deepest anchor, their shared faith. It's not just a slogan or a comfort phrase, it's a declaration forged through loss. The message points beyond Brandon himself. It says, we trust God even when we don't understand. We trust the one who gave Brandon his life, his discipline, and his calling. We trust that Brandon's story isn't over, even though his life on the field is. Standing there alone in the vast stadium, Marty realizes that Brandon's legacy is not just perseverance or football excellence, but trusting God that holds fast in suffering. The flowers, living, growing things, underscore hope, not finality. That scene becomes a quiet confession of faith in the middle of grief. No sermon, no explanation, just 2 words on a field where dreams were fulfilled and then painfully interrupted. We trust. I'll get over his death, but I'll never get over his life. Spoken by Brandon's first coach to Marty, Brandon's brother. That line lands like a gut punch because of the way it's spoken and what it reveals. After Brandon Burlsworth's death, Coach Houston Nutt is struggling to put words to his grief. He's a football coach, a motivator, someone used to talking about toughness and moving on. But when he reflects on Brandon, his voice slows, and there's a pause that tells you he's choosing each word carefully. He says, I'll get over his death, but I'll never get over his life. The power of the line is in the contrast. By saying, I'll get over his death, the coach acknowledges reality. Time will move forward, practices will resume, games will be played, life, painfully, will continue, but I'll never get over his life is the deeper truth. Brandon's life, his humility, discipline, kindness, faith, and quiet perseverance has permanently marked him. Brandon didn't just fill a roster spot, he changed the culture. He showed what commitment looks like when no one is watching, what character looks like without applause. The coach isn't saying he'll always be sad. He's saying he'll always be changed. Delivered without theatrics, the line becomes one of the film's clearest statements of what greater is really about. Death may be something we endure, but a life well lived becomes something we carry. It's not a football quote, it's a testimony. On Brandon Burlsworth's tombstone, the faith statement ends with, "He is greater." The full thought comes from John 3:30, a verse Brandon intentionally lived by. He must increase, but I must decrease. In the phrasing used to summarize Brandon's life, the emphasis is clear and unmistakable. God is greater. So while the exact opening wording is about Brandon stepping back or decreasing, the closing declaration, "He is greater," is the heart of the message. It captures Brandon's posture toward life. Football mattered, but God mattered more. Achievement mattered, but humility mattered more. His name faded, but God's name increased. That inscription isn't about loss or death, it's about orientation. Brandon's life, even etched in stone, points away from himself and upward. In many ways, that tombstone says the same thing his life said every day. Don't look at me, look higher. He is greater. If you'd like, I can help you craft a short devotional or teaching reflection that ties together the brake lights we trust on the field, the coach's quote, and the tombstone into one unified message. Greater. The language of a life. Some lives are loud. Others speak in quiet, faithful ways that echo long after the voice is gone. Brandon Burlsworth's life spoke a language of trust, humility, and love, not shouted, but steadily lived. It began in ordinary places, a country road, a car pulling away, a mother and son exchanging 3 taps of brake lights. I love you. No words needed. Just faithfulness, presence, and affection expressed in the simplest way possible. Then came the football field, empty, silent, holy ground. Brandon's brother stands alone and sees a message spelled out in flowers. We trust, not we understand, not we are okay, but we trust. Trust when dreams are fulfilled. Trust when they are interrupted. Trust when the story doesn't make sense. Later, a coach, hardened by years of competition, finds words that sound more like scripture than sport. I'll get over his death, but I'll never get over his life. Death is something time teaches us to survive, but a life like Brandon's leaves a permanent mark. It changes how we define greatness. And finally, we come to the tombstone. No stats, no trophies, no football jargon, just a declaration drawn from John 3:30, ending with these words, "He is greater." That was Brandon's theology. That was Brandon's compass. That was Brandon's greatness. He decreased so God could increase. He trusted when outcomes were uncertain. He loved without needing recognition, The movie Greater isn't really about football. It's about a life that pointed away from itself and upward. Marking Brandon's tombstone are these words: "Our grief is great, but God is greater."